Nazis, oh, well, you've killed 10 Jews today, why don't you help a Hungarian today? It's complicated. You know, the choices we make as human beings, every single moment of our lives. You've all seen this image, haven't you? Most of you. Little Vietnamese girl, her village got napalmed, and using, big Anglo-American Israeli weapons to blow shit out of civilians. And the very fact we have universities and corporations paying Henry Kissinger, you know who Henry Kissinger is? He's still active in politics in America. He's on the speaker circuit, he gets like £50,000 to do talks, and I got paid 50p to be here, so. But the very fact that murderer can go around giving talks to a whole bunch of corporate, young students, like, yeah, power, money, control, makes me sick. And he is on record, phoning up the Nixon office, saying that for Cambodia, his order was, because they did a massive bombing campaign in Cambodia, the most bombed country on earth, he said his order was, anything that flies on anything that moves is genocide. Any airplane on anything that moves. And these are the things any man or woman supports when you work in a corporation, when you are part of the system, when you don't open your mouth and speak out. These are the images we will carry on seeing. And I wasn't an evil person. I just believed it was real. I believed the world was much more complicated than I had the ability to perceive. And by investing money in arms companies, this is precisely the thing that I was helping perpetuate, carry on. This is really what the image means. This is truly what that last image means. And it's difficult for me to, cuddle these corporations. Because when you do the research, you start to see that at the very top, they're all part of clubs that you and I will never get invited to. You don't even need to be a conspiracy theorist. It's all out there in the public domain. Do, one day's research, you will see that, there's probably about 13 ancient families, a few hundred years old, 13 families with their associated henchmen families that run the world. The industrialist, capitalist, we have Cecil Rhodes, J.P. Morgan, Andrew Carnegie, the Rockefellers. These are the true permanent government. And anyone who actually believes that power, money, and control are to be left to us, the peasants, every 5 years to vote over. But I'm preaching for the converted here, you guys all know. So this is the true image of the world. McDonald's and Disney and the little Vietnamese girl. And this is from Banksy, who I love Banksy, and does a few things around London. Strangely enough, he now sells these things for £100,000 each, so sell out, I don't know. This is the true face of the choices we make. You can see the blood seeping through. This kid's probably in like 3 pieces. And I do a bit of work outside Armed Forces Careers Office with a megaphone. But what I'd really like to do is to maybe get big placards and maybe wear a suit and do an ironic presentation, say I'm from the Big Business and War Party, and as young men and women go into the Armed Forces Careers Office, just show them pictures of dead Iraqi children, I don't know if we can get them, but of pictures of dead British soldiers, and say, hey, it's the best thing, look, you too can have your testicles blown off whilst killing children. And just show them the truth of war. Because if I see another badge saying support our troops or help for heroes, I'm going to vomit. Because they're not heroes. These are just people who have had their warrior instinct hijacked by big government, and they get taken away to go and kill brown people in the desert for big corporations. I have nothing against the military as an institution. It used to be a Ministry of Defense. And who knows, in the future we might be very thankful that we have awake people with military training that might be on our side, you never know. I've got nothing against the military. I joined the military. I joined the British Army after September the 11th because I believed there were terrorists waiting to kill me. I grew up in a family where the Daily Telegraph, the Daily Mail, these were my sources of news. And I believed it, I fell for it. I'm sure a lot of people in this room did as well, initially. And I was like, oh my God, extremists, they're going to kill us unless I join up and go and fight them. This is a world war between Islam and the West. And I believed the bullshit, and it's embarrassing. But it makes me angry as well. There's not a single country on this earth which is any threat to the British, American, Israeli cabal. And all the newspapers, all the little editors, all the little journalists pushing the propaganda have that little boy's blood on their hands. But anyway, let's lighten the mood a bit. Let's come out of this comedy hellhole and open things up a bit. This section, you guys know all this anyways. But anyway, onto the reptile. This guy is called the Velociraptor. So yeah, if atoms and particles behave... Okay, yeah, slight departure here. When I said I don't believe in anything, we see all this evil happening in the world. Why does it happen? It's for us to do good. How can we do good? This is the next part. Atoms and particles behave in probabilistic ways, but our mind is made of atoms and particles. How can free will exist? I don't actually know if free will exists, and neither does the reptile here. He's confused. But if anyone's done any research into quantum physics, quantum mechanics, subatomic matter, it's not actually anywhere. It's an idea. It's a fuzzy concept. And it's only when you look at it, you actually lock an atom or a particle into location. So perception creates reality. It's proven. It's in scientific documents. It's cross-referenced across many universities. It's a fact. And what I love about science, and I'm a massive science fan, I love technology. And which is the irony is, I'm going to come on later on in this talk, I want that technology to end. But I love technology for what it's taught us. And if we as scientific people can believe that everything came from nothing after a Big Bang, nothing decided, oh well, whatever, made everything, we'll believe anything. And that's the thing, everything is true and everything is not true at the exact same time. It's whatever you put your mind to it. And, religious people, Christians, Muslims, Hindus, maybe it's real for them. It's not real for me, it's real for them. So how can free will exist? And what I love about this slide as well, it doesn't actually make sense. That statement doesn't lead to that question, so stuck through it next. It makes the right mood for the next part. Over the last few years, I've really been having what many call a philosophical and political awakening into the nature of people. And what that is a fractal. And fractal is the Fibonacci sequence. It looks like a galaxy, it looks like a hurricane, it looks like the arrangement of sunflower seeds as well in a sunflower. All of reality follows this shape, and it's the shape of infinity. It's the shape of never-ending novelty, of never-ending complication. And this is why centralized government, the European Union, is inherently against nature. You cannot centralize and have it done effectively, which is why all fascism eventually fails, why people will start fighting back, because anything that goes against nature can't go on forever, because eventually the fractal wins. I have an ongoing philosophical and political awakening, which allows me to question everything, believe nothing, and keep an open mind. And also I have a trust in reality, and I believe people are good deep down. And whenever we see hate and oppression, it's withheld love. It's people who need to learn something and they lash out and attack. And you see it in animals. Dog and cats from the Battersea, dog's home, cat's home. When the animal's aggressive, we don't blame the animal. We know it's been mistreated. And people are the same. When we get mistreated, we lash out. That there in the middle is a Metatron's cube. It's sacred geometry. And you can see some more Fibonacci sequence here with Leonardo da Vinci's drawings. And I love it because it looks a bit like a sheriff's badge. They're in the Love Police sheriff badge. Makes sense. And about 3 or 4 years ago, I wrote a novel. It's not very good, but everyone, I think, has a novel inside them. And I decided to write a novel called The Love of the Mathematicians. And my strengths don't lie in writing novels. It's got some really rubbish sex scenes in it, and it's available for free on the internet. If you're really interested, you can read it. It took about 4 hours to read. It's a short novel. And in a way, you know, how I was talking about